Alright, so in this video I'm going to roughly explain how to make a prefab object, or prefab entity, whatever thing it is. So what a prefab is like, it's a group of different objects that you can multiply across the whole level, and then have one, and then just change one, and then it'll change all of them. So it's sort of like a component in SketchUp. So I'll just quickly grab some stuff and chuck it in. I'll get a what's something cool, like a light or something. A light. Wait, lights are up an entity, and then under lights, I'll just use one of these guys. Where is he? He's way over there. So sometimes it does this when you're dragging something in and you've got it on a silly mode, like you've got it on Z or something, and the last place you had something was way ages away, and it's really annoying. So what you can do is just put it way over there, wherever that is, and then you can in the level hold down Control Shift and then left click onto the terrain or another object, and it will move the object to wherever you clicked. So cool, there's our wee light go. And then I'll get something else as well, like what's something cool, like a door. Is that kind of dumb? Maybe. Oh. And again, it's way over there, so I'll just bring it back with that Control Shift. So here we are, we've got these two separate sort of things. I'll just move him a bit closer. And what we can do is we can make them into a prefab. So one way to do it, there's lots of different ways, but I'll just show you one way. You can go View, Open View Pane, and then it's the database view. And in there's a tab. There's all these different tabs. You should check out particles and stuff later on. Or, there's lots of different stuff you can look at. But the one we want is prefabs. Go in there and then go. What should we just? Yeah, we'll just add a new item, which is the this icon here. It's the white icon, not the black one. I'll explain the library one later on, I think. So I'll just add. And then we'll just name it whatever, light door prefab. And then what you can do is you can select the door and the light, and then right click in the prefab and go make from selection. And then it sort of groups both the things into a prefab. And so what that means is it's sort of like a group in the way that if you move one thing the other follows, but it's cooler than that because, well, I'll show you. So I think we're done with that database view for now, but just take note that now it's actually called a prefab. It's not an object or anything like that, and there's different properties for it. So you can see the contents of the prefab over here in the roll-up window under this tab, whatever that tab is, and there's buttons underneath as well. If you scroll down or drag up or whatever, there's different buttons down here to interact with the contents of the prefab. So what I'll do is I'll copy it, Control C, and then move it over, and I'll just copy it again, and then go back to the first one or whatever, it doesn't really matter, and I'll go, what you can do is you can go open, and then now you should be able to select the contents of the prefab, whereas the other ones you can't because they're closed. So what that means is we can sort of add stuff and edit stuff. So I'll create a flow graph. Oh, actually I'll just rotate this one so you can see. I'll rotate the door around like that, and then to update the other ones to this prefab, or to update all the prefabs to the changed one, you go to this, and then you don't need to close it or anything. You can just click update prefab, and it updates the other ones as well. So the cool thing is you can have like a complex sort of thing with sounds and lights and like different geometry and things that you want to repeat all over the level, and you can sort of put them all in the right place and then change them later on. So it's real handy for stuff like that, and you can do real cool stuff with it, hopefully, which I'll be able to show you if I'm quick about it. So what I'll do is I'll try and create a new flow graph for the door, and hopefully have it look at me, so it sort of follows me around the map wherever I am. So to do that, I'll go add, so I'll move this up so you can see, add node weapon, and then it should be auto site weapon. Change the entity to graph entities, so the door, and then it needs to point at something. So we'll just test that to see if it works. It points at 0. So there we go, that's that one going. And then to get my position, we need to go game, local player, and then add a start node to, so at the start of the game, to update my position, and then go add entity pos, and then that will be the entity, and then the pos will be the target. So hopefully that'll get the door to look at me wherever I am. And so to test this, I'll jump into the game with Control G, and so you can see it's sort of side on, which is a bit weird, but you can see in the shadow that it's rotating around. What is that? Is that my shadow or something? It's really weird. It's really messed up. So we need to sort of add, what is that, on the z-axis? Or something. I don't know. But so I'll update that prefab so that now all of them do it. Jump into the game. Now they're all sort of looking at me. And so the door's not a very good model to show that, so what I'll do is change it to something else. To do that, you can just go click on the door, and then is it here, model, and then click on that icon, and you can change it to something else. There's usually a preview. Maybe it's under smart or something. Yeah, here we go. I'll make it something. I don't know what that is. Fishing house shelter? What's that? We'll try that. There we go. And then again, click on the prefab, update the prefab, so they've all changed. So you get a bit of a better sense that they're all sort of moving around. And then maybe we need a couple more or something. And I'll put it on this one, I think, and then this one. Add some more in. So you You can sort of see what the actual model of it is supposed to look like. And in the game they're all sort of looking around at me. Oh, can't get through there. No, I can't get through it. So that's kind of creepy, huh? So yeah, there we go. That's how you do a prefab.